morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for these final minutes of CTV Morning Live. We are in the Ask the Expert segment. And if you want to reach out to them with their question, maybe something comes to mind after this show is done, you can always email them info@ottawalawfirm.ca, or you can find them online, AHIN or injurylaw.com. 613-233-4529 is their phone number, and their offices are on Woodruff and O'Connor Street. And we do have a viewer question for Brenna Hollingsworth, who is with OJ Hollingsworth, around personal injury. The viewer writes to us saying this: I fractured 3 vertebrae in a training session before I was hired at a job. They're saying I wasn't an employee yet as I hadn't passed the testing. Do I have a case? WSIB will not cover either. Sounds so unfortunate, Brenna.
Yes, it does. One of the things about the law in Ontario is there's usually coverage for everyone. Assuming someone was negligent here and it wasn't just an unfortunate accident, we don't know exactly how it happened, but either you're going to have a lawsuit or you're going to have WSIB coverage.
Right.
So there's one or the other of these scenarios is going to apply. There are concepts in WSIB for learners. You don't necessarily have to be fully on the books as an employee to have coverage. So I would, if it's an industry that's covered by WSIB, I would push back on their denial. I would have a look at the definition of what a learner is. And this is something you should be able to do on your own. You don't need a lawyer for this.
Okay.
And just write back and, you know, the concept of a trainee or a learner under WSIB, that may be enough to get you coverage. If the denial is maintained, and I wouldn't just listen to the employer, I would speak to WSIB directly,
of course,
right? Because employers never want you to be covered by WSIB because it costs them money. So try WSIB directly. And if that doesn't work, then see a lawyer,
right,
and the lawyer will look at it more closely. Either they'll help you fight the WSIB denial, or they'll bring a lawsuit.
Right.
And, you know, if you're not covered by WSIB, you probably do have access to a lawsuit. And a lot of people don't realize that. I'm not covered by WSIB. I had a workplace injury. I'm out of luck. That's not the case. Either you're covered or you have a right of action. That's how it works.
Right. And like you said, most consultations with personal injury lawyers in this province are free, so it never hurts to kind of explore and see what they say.
Exactly. Yeah. But WSIB, you should try to do it on your own first.
Okay.
Nothing else, I would say that. But just because you don't want to pay legal fees
right,
on relatively small amounts of money if you can just make a phone call and solve it yourself.
Certainly. And we have another scenario for you. You are a parent attending at your child's school for a meeting. You park in the parking lot, and as you are walking towards the office, you trip and land face first, breaking your nose, chipping several teeth. Do you have a case in this scenario?
So we've had this situation many, many times.
Really? Many times?
Many times. People marching into the office.
Right. Face plant.
Face plant at the school, like winter, spring, summer, and fall. I don't know what it is, but this happens a lot.
Okay.
So a parking lot at a school is just like a parking lot at a shopping mall or an office building, anything like that. So the same rules are going to apply. There's nothing special about it being a school per se. So you're gonna want to make sure you know why you fell. This is the number one reason why people don't win slip and fall cases or trip and fall cases, is they leave the scene without kind of figuring out what caused the fall, because fall doesn't equal compensation. Negligence equals compensation. Right. So you have to, if there's a crack, you need a picture of it, send somebody back to get a picture. You need to know where you fell. Often there's potholes. If it's ice and snow, send somebody to get a picture as soon as you can. And if it's ice and snow, just like a grocery store, just like an apartment building, you have to give notice within 60 days, written notice to the school that not that you're going to sue them, but that you might sue them, and that this injury happened on this day.
Does uneven ground count?
Yes, but it's not every uneven ground, right? There has to be a height difference, and I wouldn't be able to rhyme off what that is.
Yeah.
I would get an engineer to go and look at the ground and to figure out if the differential was unacceptable. because it doesn't, the road doesn't have to be perfect.
Right.
Right? There's a certain amount of leeway that they're allowed.
Fair enough.
So yeah, we'd send somebody to have a look at it.
And for some people who are watching, maybe parents, they may feel guilty about thinking, I'm suing a school. I don't want to hurt the school budget. That should stay in the education system. But you're saying that it's not coming from that.
Yeah, just like any other public building, schools have insurance for this kind of thing. You are not taking money out of the school budget to get compensation for you or your child if something happens at school. There is specific personal injury insurance, and the school is defended by an insurance company, and the money is paid out by an insurance company. So don't worry about that. Don't let that be a barrier. You're not hurting people at the school. And we've often had teachers tell us sort of behind the scenes, we're glad you did something because they finally fixed that problem that's been going on for years. So you can actually be helpful by pushing it.